I'm teaching, yeah. Teaching all the things just to learn. Singing, teaching, yeah. Oh, one way to learn, one way to learn, one way to learn.
What's up, everybody? J.L.Forbes again, in front of you, right? Just coming here to bust it up, one-on-one or one-on, however many are out there. So today, I'm talking about the wholesale bag, real estate wholesale bag, right? I started out in real estate through this game, and it absolutely gave me an edge from then on out in real estate. I was able to learn how to acquire properties with very, very minimal money. Very, very minimal money. And I'm a young kid from the inner city, West Philadelphia, and I think that says something major because I learned in the process of being flat broke, like completely. I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, as they say. Like I was very, very eager to get in this business. I saw it as a great opportunity. I saw it as respect as well, like, you know, being respected for something I did. I saw it as a career. I just saw a lot of things that I've never seen before when I started sniffing around real estate. So I want to share those things because, as you guys know, I have a nonprofit, and I inspire people every day to go out and chase their dreams and their ambitions and their God-given talent. And sometimes you need the capital to do that. And I mean, you don't have to be a millionaire. You don't even have to be in the high six figures, you know, to start your business. But you do need a little gas money, as I say. You need a little bit of money to get you from A to B, to get you from one stop to the next stop so you can refuel. So I'm going to share a little bit about how I got into the wholesale game and my story. So, you know, like I said, I always talk about my grandmom and my grandpa finally wanted to sell their property, sell their house, the house that was Big Mama's house, the house that you eat all the holiday meals at, the house that I grew up at, my mom grew up at, my aunts, my uncles grew up at, every cousin that's older than me or my age grew up at, was able to stay there even if they were from out of town, like it was that house. So I always push a lot on that because grandma's house is a big deal, and that made me pay attention when she was selling her house and selling their property. And like I said, the guy was a wholesaler, and he didn't teach me a lot of the game, but I was very, very intrigued by what he was doing and how he was doing it. I asked him a few questions and got a few details from him, but from there, my curiosity was piqued. And one thing that I realized is that being in the environment and being of the environment, I had an advantage. And that's one of the biggest things that you have to understand. Like, you have to know that you have the advantage because you actually walk past these properties each and every day, whereas though somebody else lives out of town or in the suburbs and they have to ride through here, which they call farming, or they pick this as their farm, or they call it bird dogging, whatever the case may be, hunting for dollars. You actually happen to do it in your regular day, right? Because it's in your neighborhood, right? So that's one thing that's key. Two things that's key is if you grew up in that neighborhood, you personally know individuals within that neighborhood. You might take that as a con, but that's a pro, right? Because you know when something's happening. It's within the neighborhood. It might be within the gossip. It might be a relative. It might be someone that goes to church with you that's right around the corner. It might be someone that attended school with you. So you have the advantage if you know what to look for, and that's the important part, knowing what to look for within the deal and knowing what a motivated seller looks like. Somebody that is in a situation that will sell you their property, they will still make a profit off their property, but it is a situation where they will save money by selling it to you because they do not have the money to fix the property up to the standard that it needs to be fixed up to get it for all it's worth, right? They want to get a quick sell for cash. So that's where you come in. That's where a wholesaler comes in. you have to locate these people, you have to round these people up, you have to have an inventory of these individuals that are trying to sell their property. On the other end, you have to have an inventory of individuals that are willing to buy this property off you, being as though you are the wholesaler and you're the person in between. But that is how you get in the game without a lot of money. I started doing this when I was 22. I was 22 years old when I started doing this, and that was some years back. But through then, I become a licensed realtor. I'm going to be taking my test very shortly to become a broker. I've invested, flipped houses, wholesale, bunch of houses. I'm a landlord. I've done all those things up until this point. I speak now nationally about real estate and purchasing real estate, and but my key point is to know my niche is really being able to locate discounted properties, right? Although I know how to do the other things. So in this game, you can have a lot of value if you learn how to find these properties, right? You'll always have value because there'll always be someone that's looking, even if you don't have the funds at the personal time to invest in the property yourself, which you will at times, right? And that's even better, right? Because now you're getting it low. But at the same time, the person of value is the one that is able to obtain the property and real estate. And once you learn that trade, once you learn that skill, how to obtain a property in real estate for a discounted price, you're always going to be valuable. Always going to be valuable. So you need to learn how to do that niche, even if you don't plan on being a wholesaler your whole entire life. Wholesaling has been around for a very, very long time. It's nothing new. It's something that you should master. It's something that you should be aware of, and it's something that most importantly gets you in the game when you have limited funds. Now, if you're in a situation where you have a disposable income and you can get right into certain investments, or even be able to have access to lists or other things, then that's a different story. I utilize those things at this point now as well. But if you are coming from the muscle, from the dirt, you are grinding it, you're living check to check, this is a way that you can get a pop. You can get in the game if you learn drop my phone, sorry. If you learn how to locate motivated sellers. That is key. If you don't master anything in real estate, learn how to locate motivated sellers and be able to talk to them and be able to get a property under contract, right? Even if you don't get the property under contract, be resourceful enough to understand that your value will come in letting people know where they can locate these individuals at. So that is value within itself. I know tons of people that will want to pay you a finder's fee for just locating someone that is willing to sell their property, hands down. I mean, you say your numbers, depending on what zip code, you might make a good living off just that, right? So real estate that you walk past each and every day, right? If you're in the Philadelphia area, if you're in Southwest Philly, if you're in West Philadelphia, if you are in the Germantown area, which has been huge, they've been buying up like crazy, it is so many areas that are still available and still left, and then even areas that are a higher ticket price. There are still individuals that haven't sold their properties and no one located their property, and you never know. You might stumble across that person and you might make a hell of a lottery ticket with something in Northern Liberties or something. So you never know. But at the same time, anywhere you're at, you bring value. I'm talking about Philadelphia, but even if you go from state to state, I can do this in Florida, I can do this in Denver, I can do this in Detroit, I can do this in Cleveland, I can do this in North Carolina, I can do this in Atlanta, and I do not even have to physically be there. You did that? I don't even have to physically be there. So when I tell you this is a trade that you need to know, this is a trade that you need to be aware of, you need to invest in yourself just to be aware of how to locate a motivated seller, right? And that's one of the hugest things. But for me, once I was able to locate motivated sellers, and a lot of that came from, like I said, me being part of the neighborhood. My grandma had moved into a senior living area, and I used to play bingo with her all the time, as the story goes. And I used to meet her girlfriends now that she recently met, and I meet Mr. Henry that used to be a Navy guy, and so on and so forth. But all these individuals had tons of family, right? Tons of stories that they wanted to share, and a lot of times I could find out if they had someone in their family that was willing to sell a property, right, at a discount price. Also, a lot of those individuals will still own certain properties, and the kids will be living into it, and they be talking about, I want them out, I want to sell it, whatever the case may be. But just because I was within the community and I was around the individuals that was within the community and letting them making them aware of what I do and what value I bring to the table, then I was able to capitalize off that and make them money and also make me money and also be a problem solver as entrepreneurs are. You know, they were in a situation where they might have been losing the property, or someone might be defiling their property and not taking care of it, and they were going to lose the property. So I stepped in and I offered a solution, and everybody ends up winning, right? So at the end of the day, locating motivated sellers, a big niche of it is being within the community, talking with the community, sharing things, educating the community, letting them know that you exist, that you will help them with their real estate issues. You don't have to buy it all the time. They can come to you and ask you questions. They can come to you and about paperwork and stuff of that nature. Now, I'm not talking about filling out people's paperwork and stuff of that nature, or even giving them any legal advice, but I'm saying if there's a program that you're aware of, right? And you're saying like the city is having these programs where they help people with this type of income. If you sign up for this will help you once a year with your heating bill, whatever the case may be, right? These are the things that you can bring value to these individuals, and then when there is an opportunity, when they do know someone that's selling their house, or they happen to be selling the house, hopefully they think of you when they come to you because you've been a pillar in the community, you've been helpful to them, and they know you bring value and you're educating them what you do, right? So that's the goal. And getting the wholesale, in the real estate wholesale bag, man, the minimum that you usually try to bring in is $10,000, right? Imagine being able to get 2 deals a month. 2 deals a month at $20,000 now. Obviously, that takes some consistency, and a lot of times you have to be in the game a little while before you get to the point where you're making something each and every month. You know, initially you might get a pop 1 month, and then you might not get a pop another one until 3 months. Sometimes you might get 2 months, 3 months in a row when you first start off. You might have a spell of 6 months that's dry, right? No one's asking you to walk away from your job at this point, even though this is an opportunity where you possibly can walk away from your job, right? Eventually, because if you're making 2 deals a month at $20,000, you're making $40,000 a year, all you need is 3 good months. 3 good months, that's it, right? So you gotta think in a different mindset, and even though that might be hard to digest, you don't have to work each and every month to make the income that you're making right now working each and every month. Like that is a concept that you have to wrap your head around to even succeed in this business. Like you have to know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and there's brighter days, and there is a different situation where you can switch it up. Absolutely, you can switch it up. So finding motivated sellers is going to be your key. It's going to be something that you want to focus on, that you want to take advantage of. There's so many ways. We have a course, Entrepreneur Direct. We have a real estate course. You know, we have very minimal costs. We're running some specials. Follow us on YouTube, right? Follow us on YouTube, J.L.Forbes, Jarriel. If you're not looking at me on YouTube now, if this is on Instagram or social media, we have tons of workshops at the Hub. We have tons of workshops online. We come to different locations, but this is something that is a must, right? Go through my YouTube, look at the material, find out how to do it on your own if you can, but this is something that you always want to have with you. This is something that won't go anywhere, that will be an investment for the rest of your life, something you can pass down to your kids. Land is not going anywhere. God's not coming down and making any more land that I know of. So this will always be relevant. Brick and mortar will always be relevant. So please understand that. Get yourself in the game. Get your mind in the game. Understand how to capitalize on it, and get a little bit of it, right? Get a little piece of the real estate game. Get a little bit of the bag, and slowly grow that bag to be bigger and bigger and bigger. And your kids' bags will be even, oh man, like that's the goal, like the legacy. Once you know it and you understand it and you comprehend it, if the kids grow up knowing it, I mean, if I grew up knowing what I know now about real estate, it'd be a whole different situation, an entirely different situation, but it will be for my children. I guarantee that. So, you know, your entrepreneur, J.L.Forbes, coming to you once again with peace and love. Be enterprising, right? Be ambitious. Dare to be different. Go out, conquer, overcome. Just be great. You're special, right? Take care. Peace.
Every time I speak, I want the truth to come out. You know what I'm saying? Every time I speak, I want to shiver. You know, I don't want them to be like, they know what I'm gonna say because it's polite. They know what I'm gonna say. And even if I get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that what we're supposed to do? I'm not saying I'm gonna rule the world or I'm gonna change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us. We might not be the ones, but let's not be selfish. And because we're not gonna change the world, let's not talk about how we should change it. I don't know how to change it, but I know if I keep talking about how dirty it is out here, somebody can clean it up.
Wordsmith. Few happy endings where we living, but it's lots of sorrow. Use it wisely, our time is borrowed. Rather than Mike, they wanna be like Marlo. Don't let that door deceive you. Blinded by the flashy lights, not knowing where it leads to. If your vision's impaired, well, I'm here to lead you. Check the history, we're clearly regal. Black is power, please remember this. Hard times, how we contend with this. It's time for our people to reap the benefits. The winners list, I'm something special, not the ordinary. Just trying to keep the youngins out the mortuary. I wanna see them rise, have a family. So if you trying to block my shine, that's insanity. I'm just saying, what would make you front on me? I leave it all on stage so they pay to come and see. I drop gems for days, you can take this one for free, fam. Stay in your lane and be the change you wanna see.